The Long Island Railroad is the oldest continuously operating passenger railroad in the United States, if not the world. It has so much history that I made an entire iceberg chart to describe its lesser-known aspects through its almost 2 centuries of operations, from Pennsylvania subsidiary to MTA ownership. Likewise, to celebrate the railroad's 189th anniversary, I decided to pay tribute to my home railroad by combining 2 bandwagons, specifically tier lists, and describing every engine on the roster in about a sentence. For the tier list, if an engine is in B or C tier, this just means I don't have any strong feelings about them in particular, so please don't argue in the comments about the placement of these engines, since this is only my opinion. That and some of these choices are just based on how photographed they are. So with that said, here is ranking every Long Island Railroad locomotive in 10 words, or less. Where it all began almost 200 years ago. B tier. Ah yes, the typical 1830s engine with 2 driver wheels. C tier. That's a good name for a locomotive! Especially given the extremely large Italian-American demographic of NYC and Long Island. B tier. The first engine that shows up in early LIRR photos. C tier. Typical 19th century North American steam engines, nothing special. D tier. Except the one from Rogers, what the heck is going on with that boiler? Where's the second trailing wheel? D tier. There we go. Kinda looks like a GWR pannier tank. C tier. Nice to see the mix between suburban and commuter designs. C tier. Rather odd wheel arrangement, but still kinda cool. C tier. I can't believe it's not narrow gauge. C tier. Anyone else reminded of narrow gauge logging tank engines? C tier. I want a new build. A tier. Looks suspiciously similar to other Pennsy 060s. C tier. A short tender on an 080. Doesn't look right. D tier. That funnel placement looks somewhat off. D tier. Camelbacks had a large role in Long Island too, guys. Camelback tier. For a Long Island original, it looks pretty modern. C tier. Combining 2 popular trends of the 1910s, Camelbacks and Atlantics. Camelback tier. Odd that they placed their 10-wheelers on freight runs. C tier. Now with Camelbacks because Northeastern Railroad. Camelback tier. For some reason, it almost looks like a Burlington engine. C tier. Dang, that Camelback is chunky. Camelback tier. North American tank engines are special because they're rare here. B tier. This was arguably the last steam engine in service. Powered by steam, retired in 1967. B tier. Failed DD1 prototypes that still found use for switching. C tier. The Pensy's go-to switchers that migrated onto Long Island. C tier. Retiring these is why you have to transfer to Jamaica. A tier. Probably the Pensy's first mark on Long Island engines. B tier. PRR 460 was here on a regular basis. B tier. The unusually small boiler makes the headlight look huge. C tier. Basically served the same purpose as a rail car. C tier. The epitome of Long Island passenger steam engines. And also my Railroad.net bio. S tier. I feel these don't get as much footage as the H8s. C tier. The epitome of Long Island freight steam engines. A tier. Famous on the Pennsy, not so much on Long Island. B tier. Unusually big for the island. Too bad they're rarely photographed. B tier. The railroad origins of these leasers are surprisingly diverse, such as the Quebec, North Shore, and Labrador Railway. B tier. Gotta uphold Alco's empire on the island. C tier. They only stayed in Bay Ridge, so if a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? D tier. Literally lasted for 2 weeks because 6-axle bad. D tier. Short-lived, but loved by rail fans nonetheless. B tier. Wait, what? What? How did I miss this in the iceberg? That would have easily been a level 5 entry. I have several questions. I mean, I know it was only used as a protect, but why the LIRR? What tier? Yes, they had battery-powered trains in 1911, albeit nickel-iron instead of lithium-ion. A tier. Yes, they operated streetcars, and they need to again. A tier. Yes, the Hempstead branch hosted overhead wires for this engine. B tier. Ah yes, the small box cab shunter, with third rail shoes. C tier. Custom built and not exactly box shaped. Kinda cool. B tier. Wait, we had overhead? Where? Oh, right. Bay Ridge. B tier. These are actually IRT Gibbs cars intended for thrill running. A tier. Rough riders, but simple, with porthole windows. B tier. The Pensie's influence spreads to multiple units too. S tier. We really need to bring back bi-level EMUs. B tier. Much more memorable as coaches than EMUs. B tier. Love 'em or hate 'em, Bud don't break. B for Bud tier. One of the last good EMUs from Bombardier. B tier. No, these new trains aren't going to replace all M7s. Newsday. A tier. Supposedly the first diesel in revenue service in the world. B tier. Rounded edges look nice, but mechanically unreliable. D tier. Also, who is this? Small box cab switchers strike again. B tier. Too bad they didn't renumber one of them 404. This ran on the two branches that we need back. A tier. It's also supposedly preserved somewhere in Ohio according to a book, so that's something else I've got to include in the iceberg. The first indicator of dieselization is always in the switching yards. C tier. Only one on the roster still gets an HO model. C tier. I feel like they're more famous after being preserved. C tier. Fantastic engine to bring forth dieselization, not counting picking the points. A tier. The lesser known Fairbanks Wharf engines on the island. C tier. You'd think they'd be used on Greenport shuttles, but no. Which explains contests like these today. B tier. The intermediates between the Baldwins and MP15s. C tier. Not as well known, but lasted just as long. B tier. I personally like their livery more than the RS3. B tier. Not many made, but they could still be found anywhere. B tier. Alco's last hurrah on the island, and still runs today. Well, not on Long Island at least. S tier. Gas turbine Bud Silverliners. Would have been cool to keep. C tier. Had these been dual mode, they'd be much more practical. B tier. For an NPCU, they sure got a lot of fame. A tier. Not as famous, but just as interesting origins. C tier. The beginning of EMD's legacy on the island, and technically still in the roster since NYAR leases these in the MP15s from the LIRR. S tier. The class behind every rare movement on Long Island today. S tier. Even rarer diesels behind switching ops. A tier. Also, please repaint 105 into its bicentennial livery. That paint scheme was incredible, would have been great, but they're too high for bridges. B tier. One small step for rail fans, one giant leap for rail fan kind. Also, SEPTA has them now. C tier. Big, sometimes unreliable, yet we love them all the same. B tier. Because they're not M7s now with third rail shoes for Penn Station access, which makes them even less reliable, which is why they only run in electric mode when entering Penn from Queens. B tier. Why does this have an M7 horn again? A tier. Too soon to make an official statement. Also, that rendering is fake, by the way. What tier? And with that, here is the completed LIRR engine ranking list, with entries that I feel deserve the title more placed closer to their letter. Thank you so much for watching this LIRR Anniversary Special. I figured it would be right to combine two popular video trends since they're relatively easy topics to make, and I might as well do something special for my home railroad while the video's trend is still in style. Special thanks to the Trains Are Fun website for providing info about the various types of early LIRR engines, in addition to great record keeping about anything LIRR. Thank you again for watching. Credit for all the photos used go to their respective photographers, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Have a good day.